What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about Room 5. Yes, Room 5 is still a thing, and we're going to take a second look at the Masters of Room 5 or the Masters of Apocalypse. I don't know what you guys want to call to that team, but in a previous video I showed you a 500k punch up that resulted in double tap, and of course double tap is not something we want. So in this video we are going to address that situation a little bit more. Instead of a 500k punch up, we're going to take a look at a 400k punch up, and we are going to take a look at another match as well. I think it's around 100k punch up or something like that, so something more on the range of the what's normal. And we're going to talk about what exactly you have to do in order to be successful with this counter, with Masters of Evil plus Apocalypse on Room 5. At the end of the day, you have to decide. You have only 3 options available right now. Masters of Evil with Apocalypse, then Darkhold with Apocalypse as well, but from the data that we have, this team only works on a very small punch-ups, punch acrosses or punch downs, and this is why the Masters of Evil with Apocalypse is a better counter. If you can punch up 500k, 400k, then of course it's much better. Or the last option is to mirror match, but if you mirror match, let's be honest, your defense is going to be compromised, and I would only suggest this in case you are a player that is really struggling with this Room 5 and you have literally nothing else, or you don't have Apocalypse, right? Because it's more likely for you to have Spider Weaver than you having Apocalypse. So we're going to talk about all of that, and as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss, but be careful because it's fucking cold and I'm gonna break my hands. Okay, so with that said, let's take a look at the Masters of Evil. Okay, so once again, Masters of Evil with Apocalypse. I like to use Apocalypse with Absorbing Man, and some people ask why don't you use Ultron. Ultron is fine. I like Absorbing Man, he's okay. Both of those characters are fine, but you can use Ultron in other teams. That's why I prefer to use Absorbing Man here. Between using any other characters, no, you actually need Moonstone, you actually need Titania, you actually need Kang. So apart from those 3 characters, then you can replace the last character with whoever you want. So Absorbing Man or Ultron, you can replace them with another character that you find more convenient. Maybe Emma Frost, I have not tried that yet, but it's a possibility. The other key member, of course, is going to be Apocalypse. For any particular reason, well, yes, because of his special gives the immunity, defense up and safeguard, and that will protect your team. Not always, depends on how exactly you play the match, and depends exactly on the position of the characters, but at the end of the day you can still do the big punch up against Eternals. Now, I like to use Kang as a striker in most cases, and especially in Cosmic Crucible because you get so much additional turn meter. Then we have Moonstone and we have Titania. Now, when you take a look at their kit specifically, the reason why you are winning is because of this ultimate. You have 20% additional turn rewind done to the enemies, you have this additional stun, and depending on which characters you are going to turn rewind, whether it is Icarus or Spider-Man 2099 or Cersei or whatever, either way, this is going to help you quite a lot. The stun is massive and the turn rewind is also massive as well, because your team goes so much faster. You spawn with speed up thanks to Kang, and Kang also gives the additional turn meter, so this turn rewind of Moonstone is going to be very important. On top of that, you also have the defense down to multiple characters. Okay, so that's the first point. The second point is Titania. And Titania on her special is going to remove the immunity from Spider Weaver, and then it will make Spider Weaver susceptible to negative effects. So we're going to remove her positive effects, including the immunity. That will also allow Titania to go a lot faster because she is getting additional positive effects. And then with her ultimate, in case it's necessary, If you do the T4s on these abilities, you probably don't even have to use the ultimate, but you'll be able to apply ability block, disrupt, and heal block to Spider Weaver or which character is alive at that point. So you can see that this is a very powerful combination, and all of this happens before Spider Weaver has her first turn. So yes, you can finish off Spider Weaver even before she has her first turn. When you are taking a look at Apocalypse, it's important to use his special because of the defense up plus the safeguard and immunity and so on. This is only going to affect a few characters, depending on how big your Absorbing Man is, or whichever character you are using together with this team, in case you decide to not use Absorbing Man. If you're using Absorbing Man, if he's big enough, he can survive or he can resist the flip of Icarus. And in case you have some other character, maybe even a Horseman character, that is going to help you even more. From the Horseman characters we have available right now, the only two I would recommend is Archangel and Red Hulk, but that's going to depend on if you are using them on defense or offense. And even if you need that specific team, Dead Seed or Gamma versus other team. Right now I'm using Dead Seed on offense, I'm using Gamma on defense, so I could use Red Hulk together with the Masters of Evil in order to make this strategy even easier. So if you want to improve even more this strategy, make sure you have Apocalypse, Red Hulk, and then the Masters of Evil. That's going to guarantee for sure that you're going to be able to punch up 500k plus easily. Okay, let's move on. So yeah, we have his ability block, we have the defense up, we have the safeguard and so on, which is great. And then we have the trauma. Now the trauma is not a big deal because of the negative effects. We don't have any kind of heal block that we can apply to the enemies, so it kind of sucks. I really wish they would improve this ability because right now it's literally garbage. But it helps a little bit, not a lot. The best part is the empowered ability, and depending on which character use this empowered ability, you are going to have more success or less. In my opinion, the best character for you to destroy as fast as possible is Cersei, because after Cersei is gone, your life is way smoother after that. Okay, so with all that said, let's take a look at this team in action. We're going to take a look at 3 different matches. The 500k punch up, we're going to recap, then we're going to take a look at 400k punch up, and then we're going to take a look at a smaller punch up 100k, and you'll see that how this team works. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that big punch up I did last week, I think, of the 500k. As you can see, this was massive, and we were facing completely maxed out team. Some people didn't realize how big this team was. All the characters were 700 stars, all the characters were level 95, which was crazy. And even so, we were able to double tap this team, but with a huge success. So you can see right there, one of the good things about this team is Kang. The damage that Kang is able to apply to Spider Weaver is just massive. And now I was like thinking, oh, should I turn rewind the Noir? Should I finish off Spider Weaver? Because it's a big of a problem. You have to definitely turn rewind Spider Weaver, because you want to make sure that she doesn't have anything, and you also want to make sure that she has a stun on her face. Okay, so now that Spider Weaver is very close to death, unfortunately you cannot use her basic, the basic of Apocalypse, to finish her off. It's not empowered, but then you're going to apply ability block, disrupt, and heal block, like I said, with Titania. Titania is just so fast that she has multiple turns before the other characters have just one turn. Okay, Absorbing Man also doing massive amount of damage, and you can see that even that Icarus was massive, I was able to survive his ultimate. And then my Kang, unfortunately, he was not able to crit a lot, so I was only able to finish off the Spider Weaver. And then here I made a mistake. I went for Icarus, but the best option is to go for Cersei. If you can delete Cersei, that's going to be pretty much an instant win, because Apocalypse on his own, he can take care of Icarus, so you don't have to worry about that. With Cersei, it's not the case, because she's going to give regens to herself, she's going to get a barrier and so on, so make sure you finish off Cersei instead of Icarus. Okay, now we're going to take a look at another match. We were facing Sephiroth, and Sephiroth was a guy that I faced a few months ago, if you guys remember. And I was thinking, should I use Darkhold with Apocalypse to test this, just to test it out, or should I just use my Masters of Evil? Because once again, Apocalypse with Darkhold, it seems to only be able to punch down, and once again we are in a situation that we are almost at 400k punch up. 400k punch up. So in the previous one, 500k punch up. Now we have another 400k punch up. The other one we failed. Are we also going to fail on this one? Let's find out. Okay, so Absorbing Man and Apocalypse next to each other. Look how many buffs Absorbing Man has. Defense up, deflects, and so on, and immunity as well. The more defense ups Absorbing Man has, the more resistance he gains, and if you have like the guy at 6 yellow, 7 yellow, he's going to be super tanky, and he's going to take the L's from the Eternals. Now you can see that in this specific situation, the Eternals were on the outside part of the team, and that's problematic because that will not allow you to flip or to turn rewind all the Eternals. Now I turned rewinded Icarus. Maybe I should have turned rewinded Cersei instead. Maybe that would be a little bit more helpful. But let's see how exactly it goes. I don't remember. This was like 3 days ago, but I don't remember. I've been very busy in the past few days. Okay, so Cersei does her ultimate. She's able to clear the positive effect or the negative effects from the enemies. That's fine. Spider Weaver is low enough that if you use the ultimate of Kang, you are going to delete each of them. Icarus finally with his ultimate, and he completely wrecks my team, but there are 2 survivors. We have Kang and we have Apocalypse. Now at this point in time I was using Apocalypse as a striker, and that really messed me up because Kang benefits so much of having an ally that is fast and that is skirmisher. So since then I have changed my isolate level for Apocalypse from striker to skirmisher, because yes, he helps so much. Kang is just insane. So at this point, like, if I would have Apocalypse as a skirmisher, Kang would finish off Apocalypse. It was not the case, and then Icarus is just focused on Kang, and it was pretty much game over. But you can see that Apocalypse can stand on his own against Icarus, because Icarus without the help of Cersei is not a big deal. So you just have to wait for the ultimate and get the empowered basic again, so you can finish off easily Icarus. So once again we're going to try to flip those positive effects. Once again it resisted because Apocalypse is garbage, and now we have the empowered move again, and Icarus is gone with Apocalypse being the only survivor. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the last match. This was yesterday on the live stream. This was a minor punch up, like 10%, not a big deal. And this was with the Eternals in the middle. The difference between the Eternals in the middle and the Eternals outside of the team is that the Eternals outside of the team is way harder. If you guys watch my live streams, I have mentioned this in the past, that if you are using this team on Room 5, which you should, because it's a very tough team, then you should also make sure that your Eternals are far away from each other. And especially make sure that Cersei is next to Noir, just in case, because Noir is stealth most of the time, more often than Spider-Man 2099. So that's the best way to go about it. This time I was using Apocalypse as a skirmisher, and you're gonna see the difference when you get to the end of the match, that is gonna be able to tank way better. Will be what?
Rain and 8 degrees and minus degrees at night.
Okay,
now
nice.
It's 29.
Nice. I'm gonna make a yellow snowman, Asian snowman.
That's me, P-man.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at this last match. Finally, we are going to take a look at this minor punch up. 10% is not a big deal. Let's see if this time Absorbing Man can survive. Okay, so Absorbing Man getting all those attacks in the face, no problem. They have immunity, they have deflects, they have defense up. Absorbing Man is just massive. I think he's actually quite underrated. People just don't have him big enough to see how valuable he is. Okay, so Apocalypse with a stun on Noir. And unfortunately that stun is kind of a waste, but either way it's just the way it works. And then we have Spider Weaver once again with a stun. We have now Apocalypse applying vulnerabilities to multiple characters. So you can see that we have multiple vulnerabilities on Noir, on Spider Weaver, and also on 2099. I was thinking which character should I attack. Well, let's just finish off this Spider Weaver. First with the attack from Apocalypse, then with a big ultimate from Titania, there we go, ability block, disruptor and heal block. Then Icarus comes with his ultimate. Unfortunately, this time what's her name? Moonstone, she had defense down, so she got wrecked, which was not great, but look at that, we just burned through those Tangled Web characters with the Kang ultimate, and now we're going to use the ultimate of Apocalypse, this time with the Skirmisher, and you can see that this time he was able to flip those positive effects, and we are also able to attack multiple times with Kang. This is extremely important because it allows your Kang to be super fast, really super fast, as you guys can see. He's gonna get a few attacks in the face, but he's gonna come through and survive. Now, there is a bug there with the empowered ability of Apocalypse, that if the enemy has barrier, it's not ignoring the barrier. So even that we did 60% damage plus, it was like the character had 130% health. That's why it barely went below the green health, because it's counting the barrier as health, which is very dumb. I have to report this bug to community manager Archangel, I guess, and see if he does anything about this, because in my opinion, based on my interpretation, it's not supposed to work like that. Like 60% health is not 30% health plus 30% barrier. But as you can see, Kang and Apocalypse, best combo in the game right now. Very powerful, and room 5 is no longer a problem. Okay guys, so that was an update on my room 5 solution. I hope you guys enjoy it. Yes, it's true that it requires Apocalypse, but once again, as I said before, if you don't have Apocalypse, you just have to mirror match and deal with it. There are some envoys out there shilling for this new Warriors team. We have no information on that, and we don't even know for sure if the new Warriors are indeed going to counter this room 5 situation. They say that the developer said yes or whatever. Okay, sure, you are just shilling for another team. That's the reality of it. Either way, you don't need this new team. You can do it right now with your Masters of Evil, and even if your Masters of Evil are not as big as mine, you don't need them very big. The only characters that really matter is Apocalypse and Kang. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.